We also conduct workshops for churches on how they can better care for their missionaries, such as we did one in May of 2011 in a church near Houston. We're getting toward the end, and there's going to be dessert and coffee in a minute. But one thing that we do, and I wanted to give you a flavor for some of the things we do, we talk about there being a continuum of care. That on one extreme, on the left there, you can care for someone, a missionary, just by saying welcome back when they come back to the field. And on the other extreme is you can send them to inpatient counseling at a place like Link Care, which is a residential treatment center in Fresno, California, where psychiatrists and counselors and social workers will spend a whole month with you. That's the most intensive thing. But there's all kinds of things in the middle that we can do to care for missionaries. We can send them an email. We can mail a note of encouragement. We can take a meal to their home when they're home. We can invite them to our home for dinner. We can send a care package. We can babysit their kids, which missionaries love when they're home on home assignment. We can invite their MK, their missionary kid in college for Thanksgiving. One missionary told us, when you love my baby, you love me, even if my baby's 22 years old. And that's one way we can love a missionary. Call overseas once a month. My friend Robin with Pioneers, he was a missionary in Bosnia for 5 years, and he said every Wednesday night at 6:30 he would get a call from his friend in Fresno, and he said, and he always started out, well, how's it going, Rob? And sometimes the conversation would last 2 minutes and sometimes 2 hours. And he said it didn't matter. The fact that he called me once a week was just a great encouragement to him. We can start a prayer group for them. Judy's going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. We can send them to a retreat. We can visit them overseas. We can do outpatient or send them to outpatient counseling, and we can just meet with them weekly, kind of like what I did. And when we talk with churches about this, I'll ask them, which of these is the most important? And I'll tell you the answer is they're all important. And every one of them is important. One is not more important than the other. And that God can use all of our gifts in some capacity, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. And Romans 12 talks about all of that. It talks about all the gifts that we have. And we can use those gifts to care for missionaries so that they in turn can spread the gospel and be more effective doing so.